Hey, Saru here, author of How to Be a High Value Man, The Blueprint to Success for Women. It's available in ebook on Audible. I want to talk to you guys about sex energy, right? Sex energy is very, very, very powerful, as you guys know. Um, Especially, when it comes to women. Uh, as you know, sex is an exchange of energy. It's not just a physical act of it, but it's an exchange of energy between you and a woman, right? Heterosexually. And when you have intercourse with a woman, a lot of stuff is going on. You know what I'm saying? And if you really want to imprint her mind, her body, her soul, you can't just be, and call it a day. No, you got to make your sessions erotic. You got to make your sessions like nothing she's ever experienced. You see what I'm saying? Being that casual sex and just sex in general is just so pervasive out here, and it's permeating everything, and people lead with it. It's like you got to do something different to blow these broads' minds. You know what I'm saying? One type of sexual energy that you can employ is tantric, for all the spiritual people out there. That incorporates mind, body, soul, lots of in-sync breathing, lots of, intimate gazing, things like that, right? And synchronization. But what I want to focus on is the BDSM type of sex. A lot of these women, especially low frequency, right? Not even low frequency, but a lot of these women, they fantasize about this type of interaction because it's just not prevalent. It's kind of like taboo. And because of the perception that can come with it, she don't want to come off to you like she's a slut, as it were. But you see, the key with a woman is helping her to feel free, helping her to feel like she's not being judged, helping her to feel comfortable around you. The more you get a woman comfortable, around you, where she doesn't feel like she's being judged, where she doesn't feel like she's being, categorized or whatnot, the more she's going to open up to you. And that's what you want. See, a woman is a vessel. She's an open vessel. So you want her to follow your lead. You see what I'm saying? She wants to be sycophantic to you. She wants to, tap into that feminine side and be submissive to you. You see what I'm saying? And so, you being a dominant man, this is the type of sex that they go for because this is the type of sex that they go for, or often fantasize about. Because did you guys see that movie a long time ago, 50 Shades of Grey? It was real popular like around COVID and stuff. The rich, wealthy young guy that had like this sex dungeon. Let me tell you something, man. The women you think that are like Girl Scouts, nah, bro. They are really on that. Like every woman wants to be slutted out. Every woman wants to be slutted out. Understand me? Trust me what I'm telling you. And when you get them wide open like that, and listen, the nastier things you do to a woman, the more she's hooked on you. This is a definite way to imprint a woman. So the B in BDSM is going to be bondage, right? So with bondage, right, the psychological effect is submission, helplessness. She's at your mercy. She's at your whim. It's do what you want, it's do what you will. You know what I'm saying? So it's total submission for her to relinquish her freedom so that you can bond her. And there's several ways to do it. I mean, there's all kind of stuff, novel things that you can find in these sex boutiques, these sexual stores that you can go to. You know, some people, they get into, you know, ropes, you know, tying various knots around the elbows, knees, wrists, ankles, things like that. You know, to the extent that you can suspend the person. You know what I'm saying? I'm not a rope guy because, you know, I don't have time for the knots. Well, it's not that I don't have the time for the knots, it's just that I don't have the patience to go ahead and tie the knots. I like restraint devices because, you know, I used to be in law enforcement, you know what I'm saying? And, you know, I was a CO, I was also a police officer, SWAT guy for a while too. So anyway, long story short, restraint devices are very, very, mechanical, right? When you feel that steel, when you feel that metal on your wrists and on your ankles and around your waist, and you feel them chains and stuff, like you just know you're in custody. And so what better method, what better way to restrict someone, to restrain someone, to cuff someone is to literally use cuffs. You know what I'm saying? You know, of course, with fur and all that kind of stuff, but listen, you put a woman in a restraint device and she's at your mercy, woo woo. So turn on for that woman. Because, again, she's at your whim. And your body is her playground. You feel what I'm saying? So you cuff her from the front, you cuff her from the back, you cuff her overhead, you cuff the handcuffs with the shackles. You know what I'm talking about? And you can, you know, put her in all these different positions where she's immobilized and can't move. You know what I mean? So from handcuffs to leg irons to a harness with cuffs on them, there's all type of things that you can get. You know what I'm saying, for this bondage type stuff. And even these leg spreaders that comes with pins and devices, like she can't break them, she can't cut them or none of that. Like she is literally a slave at this point. She's your sexual slave at this point. Alright, and just the very thought of that and just being in that physiology, because you know, a person's physiology affects her psychology. So being that she's restrained, she is somewhat afraid. There's that element of mystery, there's that element of surprise. It's also the element of seduction when you utilize these tactics. And you know, sometimes I drink on here, sometimes, you know, I have a nice little either a glass of wine, I might have an old fashioned, might have a glass of bourbon, but tonight, well, this afternoon rather, you know what I'm saying, I'm just smoking more with you guys, you know what I'm saying. This one is a Tatiana. It's flavor, nothing crazy, right? But back to the B for bondage, right? So yeah, you start to use these devices on these women, man. Tell you, man, you can have a lot of fun, mouth gag, and you know you're doing these things to her, and she's gagged up. She can scream as loud as she wants. You know what I'm saying? And just let go. See, that's the whole thing. You want them to be able to let go. Yeah. You want them to be able to let go and be free. That's the whole thing. So you gagged her up. Or if you're into the whole oral, if you got a whole oral fixation like myself, you know, you could do the mouth open. Put that over the mouth. And it keeps her mouth agape, and you can do all kind of things. With that, just use your imagination. You gotta keep this PG-13, you know what I'm saying, because this is YouTube. Blindfold, that's another form of restraint, because it's visual restraint. She's visually impaired, or you can put a hood over her with a zip opening over the mouth. You know what I'm saying? I mean, just think about bondage restriction. This stuff drives you crazy. This stuff releases all type of, you know, cortisol into the system. Adrenaline is going. Now she's what? See, women, they love what? Women love chaos. So now you're stimulating that part of her brain that gets off on chaos. Women love chaos. As well as order, right? So when you activate her fight or flight system, right? Now that adrenaline is coursing through her veins, it's coursing through her body. She's very aroused, right? She's also getting a surge of dopamine. She's also getting a surge of oxytocin, which is the bond hormone. She's getting a surge of fear. You know what I mean? And people, and this is trauma bonding too. This bondage is forming trauma bondage. People bond psychologically through trauma, right? If you think about it, this is why when you go to sororities and fraternities, they hate you because you become frat brothers and sisters because you bonded through the trauma. Right? That's one example. War veterans, right? And the people they serve with, right? Trauma bonding. Stockholm syndrome, trauma bonding. You start to form an affinity or attraction or love for the person who oppressed you, as it were. So you're triggering all these psychological responses just by using these devices, whether it be, you know, restraint devices or ropes. So that's that, right? So the D is for dominance, domineering, dominatrix, right? As a masculine man, you want to be the dom. You want to be the one that's in charge, you know, guiding this whole interaction. So you want to do it safely, right? Create a safe word like red, or, you know, whatever you guys decide. But red is like the most common, or, you know, mercy, stop, whatever. But with you as a dom, you're in control. She's totally under your submission. She's under your will, and she can let go. Again, and women want to be dominated. A very feminine woman. She wants to feel your strength, that masculine energy. So be dominant in your body language. Be dominant in your verbiage. Be dominant in your language. Be dominant in your movements. Be rough. Be rough. You know what I mean? But make sure that you can handle it. Right? So be mindful of her tolerance. But take it to the edge and then pull it back. Take it to the edge and then pull it back when it comes to intensity. You know, in your dominance. Okay? Now the S is for sadist, right? And there's a contraction word called sadomasochism. You want to be the sadist as the dom, right? So the sadist, you're the one that's inflicting the the anguish, the pain, and the pleasure. So there's a fine balance between it. This is what makes it fun. This is what makes it alluring. This is what makes it mysterious. This is what makes it spontaneous. You see what I'm saying? All these things trigger these psychological responses from her. So, as a sadist, again, her body is your playground. So, you can use your body parts, right? Literally, your body parts to have any type of, oral penetration or stimulation rather. Objects. Whether it be orally, vaginally, or anally. There's all types of things you can use. You can use your hand, you can use your fists, you can use your fingers, you can use your tongue. You use basically anything, right? But they have, listen, they got ticklers, they got feathers, there's paddles, there's whips, there's flogs that you can use, for spanking and whipping and things like that. I get real creative. I even have rubber bands for that matter. You know what I'm saying? That you can like slingshot on a nipple. Clothespins that you can put on the nipples and on the clit. Things like that, man, to give like intense pain, stinging pain, but it's not, so intense that it becomes too painful to endure, But this is all stimulating her. And the whole time she's bonding with you. And you're imprinting on her mind and you're doing stuff to her that no other man has done before. Because most of them, they ain't doing this shit. They just trying to beat it up. That ain't doing nothing. Especially, G-spot, which is pretty common up top, on that top wall. But there's other spots too. You know what I'm saying? That deep penetrating A-spot. You know what I mean? How to play with all that. So, I'm not into the whole dildo thing. That's not for me. Not necessarily vibrators either. I like to be the stimulator, not use objects primarily for everything. I want her to be hooked on me, not the object. You know what I'm saying? When it comes to me being the sadist, me being the one who's bringing the pain and the pleasure. But again, her body's her playground, so don't just focus on her butt, on the cheeks, right? Don't just focus on her titties and nothing like that, right? You know what I'm saying? You can slap the feet, the bottom of the feet. That's reflexology points, right? That sends a surge of like, you know what I'm saying, of energies and pains. Listen, man, I'm trying to keep this like YouTube, you know what I'm talking about? But just get creative. And the more creative you are, the more responsive she'll be. I'm gonna just say it like that. And the M is for masochist, right? So a masochist is what she's choosing to be to submit to you and receive all of this pain and pleasure. She's gotta like it. This is a person who likes to receive pain. This is a person who likes to receive pleasure. This is a person who likes to be dominated. This is a person who likes to be tied up and bonded. gonna tell you right now, bro. Every woman desires this. I'm telling you. If you do this to your woman, I'm not saying you gotta always do it. But every now and then, if you want to spice it up, you need to employ BDSM or something. You need to employ BDSM or something. And you can use it as a form of punishment. You can literally use it as punishment when she act up. And this could literally be your act right. She, you know what I'm saying? She say something slick, or she do something that you don't approve of. This is how you punish her. I mean, she's gonna like it, but this is how you punish her. This is how you get away with putting your hands on her. See, with the whole sadistic kind of stuff, the sadist part, bro, spanking, slapping, choking, smothering, like, these are very stimulating to a woman, but at the same time it's very domineering, spontaneous, and scary, and it's seductive. And you can use this coupled with sex, energy, and punishment. This will make a woman not just submissive to you in the act of that sexual session, but this is going to resonate with her throughout the day, throughout the weeks, throughout the months, throughout the years. She's going to look forward to this. You know what I'm saying? She's really going to start seeing you as that dude. She's really going to see you as a man that can be respected and revered and feared. You know? This might go over some of y'all head. Might think I'm crazy, it's a different kind of video, but I'm just telling you, man, if you guys want to, take it to the next level and switch stuff up in the bedroom, without getting too crazy. BDSM is a fantasy. If not all women. Why do you think they like the sex novels? Why do you think 50 Shades of Grey was such a big movie during COVID when everybody was on lockdown and tied the fuck up? Women like chaos. They like to be stimulated. They go off of emotion. They go off of what they feel. And so, this doesn't have to be done in a malicious way. It could be done in a seductive way. It could be done in a loving way. And it could be done to do something to spice things up in the bedroom and to mentally and physiologically and psychologically imprint that woman. So that's as far as I'm going to take it right now. Because this is YouTube and I'm about 23 minutes in, so I'm going to end it right there, man. Y'all just go ahead. Listen, man. Take your woman to a sex store with you. Y'all pick shit out. Pick outfits for her to wear, all that. You know what I'm saying? Y'all pick the devices y'all want to play with. I'm telling you. No other man gonna come close, man. I'm out, man. Like, share, subscribe. Like my shit, share my shit, subscribe to my shit, comment on my shit. I'll see you next video. Yep.